Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my earlier than usual live stream. I really feel like I'm having Groundhog Day. As well, it's a bit of a weird Friday. I will have Groundhog Day, I think, on Monday when I land up actually achieving everything that was on my diary for today. So I had something planned that I had to do between 8 and 9 that got cancelled, moved to Monday. I had something planned for 11 that got cancelled, moved to Monday. Then I had something, aka jammers, planned for 8 p.m. tonight. And I had written in my diary that my hair appointment, which I only have every 3 months, hello, Rachel, was tomorrow at 1700. So tomorrow being the 7th. I think what I did is I saw 1700 and wrote it on the 17th. And I got an appointment confirmation from my hairdresser last night to say, see you tomorrow at 1700. And I was like, oh my word, you can't exactly change things at the last minute when you book 3 months ahead. So here I am at 1 p.m. your time, 2 p.m. my time. And we are going to play in our art journal. So thank you for joining me. I can see 7 people. If you are live from Facebook and you want to make a comment, please just make sure that you have given StreamYard permission to use your name. Otherwise, you'll pop up backstage as Facebook user. So I have got Rachel in the house. I have Karen in the house, and I have Facebook user in the house. So that's what happens. So I can still see your messages. So thank you. Keep them coming. But it just means that if you're popping up on my side, which you won't know because it looks normal on your side, as Facebook user. So that's just the way StreamYard works because we have European Union laws, I guess, and they can't just use your name without their permission, your permission, should I say. So today we are playing in my journal. Here's some previous pages. And I have done quite a few things in this journal. Some pages are just blank. This is playing with some Lindy's Magicals, some sprays, and so on. So I often just prepare pages where I'm cleaning stencils, for example, and then I either flip through and decide, oh, that would be a good place to start. In fact, in this one, I have, that's a finished page with Olga's stamps. So I have lots of places to start. I have this one, which is nice and dirty on that side. And I have cleaned a stencil there. So let's see what happens. I have bought myself the new Tim Holtz. They're not new. I think they're about 6 months old. The Tim Holtz Distress crayons. And okay, so just because you registered with StreamYard from Leanne's page, every time you go live, Sarah Lou, you have to give permission to StreamYard. It's just their rule, unfortunately. But thanks for letting me know who you are. That's awesome. So I have rearranged them into rainbow order, just because, well, his came in sets with rainbow order in them, but each box had its own rainbow order. And often when I'm working, so okay, in fact, it shows you at the back what was in each set. So there's his little rainbow orders with all his things on the back. So if I want to reorg them back how he had them, I can. But for the moment, this suits me and my crazy personality. No, your name's not showing. But it really doesn't matter. I won't be really putting people's names on here today unless you have something to ask. Chicken soup. Yes, we're having a right royal rainy day here. We had a heat wave and now it's cool outside here in Berlin where I am, and rain all day, the whole day. So yeah, I will be dashing across town in between rain and getting my hair pink so I look like my avatar again. Just makes me feel more normal. I know to the rest of the world pink hair is not normal, but hey ho, it's how I roll. So we're going to be playing with my stamps. And my kitty cat is missing because, well, it's on here. It's bad girl. I didn't pack away beforehand. Good morning from Canada, 6 a.m. Wow. So if you want to know what the stamps look like before you actually use them, this is them, all pretty in their packaging. Made by, I'm currently designing for Funky Fossil, Steampunk Farmyard, and Steampunk Pet are my current stamps. I have some other things. Nuneka has just released a line, and she's got these lovely sayings. So I've got those on my desk. I have got some, this is actually tape. It's new, as you can see. I haven't even opened it, and it has different sayings, mostly designed for cards, but I just thought it might be quite fun to see what's on here. It might be quite funny to put in. It says anniversary. Okay, let's see what this actually says. Let's find the beginning, because it might be quite fun if we could make a crazy sentence, because, you know, my characters here are not. Oh, where's the beginning? Yeah. It's cold here, but it's wintry nice. Hi from Denmark. Hi, Jane. Happy anniversary again and counting, and fabulous today. Celebrate. It's your day. Big birthday wishes. Okay, and then restart again. So now I know what's on there. Maybe we can make some funky sentence. So let's try and get that all back on there. And I think the white is just the same, just on a white background with black lettering. So that's cool. So that's, yeah, that would be the white. Buenos dias. From Peru. Hello, Carla. Buenos dias. Oh, saludos de Lima, Peru. So from Perima. Oh, listen to me being dyslexic. Lima, Peru. That was nearly Perima LaRue. Oops. I promise I've had my coffee. I've only had one. I haven't maybe had enough. But hey ho, that's the way life rolls. So I saw Tim do a live where he used these pencils to color a background. So I thought I would do something similar, and I've just realized that I'm out of water both there and in my little jar. Okay, so I have to make a quick dash to get some water. I have got some characters pre-stamped that can be colored. And oh, thanks, Rachel. Rachel has put, I have got a new website. So Rachel has put my new website in the chat. It is belindabasan.com. And I have, at the moment, I have a freebie class up there of how I made some cards. Let me just find the cards on the other side of the room quickly. Because, you know, never where you think they are because you've tidied up your desk. So here's the cards I made in the class. I probably should have put something in here to make it a shaker, but it's, you can see the dimension on the video here. So this is using Nuneka's new dies, her new paper, and my characters as card fronts. So that's what that's about. And yes, I will be starting a membership group there too, so people can sign up for a monthly basis of 25 euros, and I have to charge it in euros, and it has to include the VAT because that's where I live. It's one of those things, but yes, that will be launching in July. It's all very exciting. Very exciting. Yes, a little fish inside the cat. That would be so cool. I might have to see if I didn't glue it properly and put some little fish in there. That's such a cool idea. Okay, so what was I doing? I was looking for water, which I know I took my spray bottle. I have 2 spray bottles. None of them are here. Let's see. Does this one have water? Ah, that one has water. Yay! But now I need something to put the water in. You know, when you think you're so organized for a live. Right, I think I'll just use the jar of this one, because this one is a the pump one, and I just need it as a vessel to dip the This one's also a pump one. It's just a different kind of pump. Spray bottle for water. I got this 100 years ago, literally, when my husband and I went to the UK to, sorry, I can't pour water into such a small hole and talk. We went to the UK on a fact-finding mission to buy, I wanted craft things and so on that I couldn't find in South Africa. So I'm going to pop that on there. And now we're going to play with Tim's colors. Hello, Vandana. Sarah Lou, I can see your name. You're not a Facebook user anymore. No, you're not. That's so cool. Hello, May on YouTube. Thank you. And thank you, Rachel. I love these characters. Oh, sorry. And I missed your live earlier. I was busy chasing errands. So thank you for everybody who's popping in. I'm going to experiment. So come and play with me as we learn together, because these are, as you can see, brand new to me. I have watched Tim's video on how to use them in different ways. And all I have done so far is experiment a little bit by coloring in with them. But now I want to try all the things that he has done with them in his live. And so one of them is to color with them onto the stamps. I want to experiment with that. And then I also want to color the background and blend and just play. You just logged in via Facebook. I don't know how sometimes, Sarah Lou, it works. And remember, Facebook user. So remember me from, I can't see who you are. So I probably would remember you. Anya? Yes. Hi, Belinda. Yes. Are you having, I'm going to call them Olga-isms, because my friend Olga types really badly and I've had to learn how to read typing. Olga Eldvine. Love her dearly, but she types at speed. She is Polish, I'll give her that. I can't type in Polish, to be honest, and I only had 10 words. I think that I'm down to probably about 5. Right, what colors are we going to do today? Let's do warm colors, because it's a cold day outside. So let's go with warm colors. What's the difference between Mr. Holtz's watercolor pencils and other watercolor pencils? Well, the difference is these are, the entire thing is what do you call it? Pigment. So a normal pencil, let me grab one of those. A normal watercolor pencil, should I say, like those. Those have the pigment, but they have them inside wood. So it's a very skinny little bit of pigment. Whereas these are the whole thing. So what he's done is, this is a sticker that he has actually stuck on here so you can hold it without getting pigment on yourself. And yep, so it just means you can use more of it. You can, as much as you can shave with these and use the lead, obviously if you use a pencil crayon sharpener with these, you're getting everything is the color. So what I do want to do is buy myself a tea strainer, because although I have half the kitchen sink, not the half the kitchen sink, I have everything but the kitchen sink from the kitchen in here, like spatulas and all sorts of kitchen utensils like rolling pins and so on. I do not yet stolen a tea strainer, because one of the things I've seen on a video is that you can draw through a tea strainer and it acts like a grater, but a very fine grater, and it gives you pigment on your page. So maybe I'll just go and sneak the tea strainer quickly. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. And you want to go outside? You're not going outside. It's ready. No. Okay, I'll put this. You go up this way. Okay. doesn't believe me that no matter which door I open, it's still raining. Hello, Shamila. So I've stolen the tea strainer from the kitchen. I will have to replace it because these probably aren't toxic, but I'm not going to take any chances. So we're going to experiment with a few things because I've been doing all the learning, you know what I mean, the YouTubing, the research, time to plug and play. And of course, we'll just do it live because why not? You can learn with me. So I want to go from light to dark. Thankfully, Mr. Bassan does not drink tea with tea leaves. He uses a tea bag. So we don't need the tea strainer. Oh, Poch. Oh, dear. And I see South Africa is having like the wildest weather, and Cape Town is, it's been raining up a storm there, and playing fields look like lakes or dams. Okay, I'm very worried about this water standing open. So for now, I'm just going to close it because, you know, with the kind of day I'm having, it will go flying and it'll go where we don't need it. So I'm going to play with, and I want to create an ombre as a background. And this is what is nice. I can actually just use the whole sort of side of the crayon, pencil crayon that is, to get as much color down as quickly as possible. And we're just going to do that. Then we're going to go into some orange. So I'm kind of just getting the color down because basically what I want to try and see is if I can get a nice background going with these pencil crayons. And because you can use all of that, you get, I want to come down a bit further because I know that the stronger colors override the lighter colors in general, more than others. So of course we're at an angle because that's just how I work. I don't know how people write in a book like this. I always had to tilt my book. So sorry I should maybe tilt my camera. Maybe that would work. Then you get to see me straight. No, that doesn't work because you get to see half of me. Okay, but there I'm not so skewed. Okay, so now we have some color down. I'm going to, this can spritz. I'm just going to use my stamping platform as a place to grab some water. And then I'm just going to use a big brush. Belinda, what kind of journal is that? Sue is asking. It is a Hahnemühle. Hahnemühle. It's got the little chicken on the back. It is a German brand. I know that it is available in the USA. You've got hectic storms for Sunday. I haven't looked at Sunday's weather. I want to do a brunch for my hubby. And last year we got to sit outside, but yeah. So the paper, it's actually like a student's journal, but I find the paper feels very similar. I'm back to Sue's question, sorry. It's very similar to the paper that Tim uses for his tags. You know, those creamy color tags of his. It has been over a roller. So paper gets made in different ways, and different processes are involved. And I think this has been over a roller, a hot roller that is. So it kind of irons the paper fibers and makes it really smooth and makes working with water really good. So like, for example, this one is where I had used brown oxide through a stencil, spritzed the stencil with water and blotted it here to clean my stencil. So I've got a nice background ready for when I'm ready to go. So yes, Jen is saying she hasn't used her crayons yet. I only bought them 3 weeks ago, maybe. I don't know, time flies. Somebody said to me, the older you get, the faster time flies. My granny told me that when I was a kid, and I didn't believe her. Well, she was right. Granny was always right. So what I've done is I've just used Tim's crayons to color. And I'm going to start from light to dark. So let's see. It immediately gives me a really nice color, and it means that I don't have to use too much water. I can still see my squishy scratching a little bit, but the more I rub at it, the more it goes away. So we're going to work from light to dark simply because it is easier to do that. It's like, if you think of the extreme, it's much easier to put black over white than white over black. So if you work from light to dark when you are just using one brush like I am, then you are definitely not going to override if you go that way. So I just need a bit more water. So yeah, it's one of those things, Jen, you just got to, I know it's so exciting, and when things are new, I was like that with new books and new pencil crayons. I didn't want to use them because, I didn't want them to get shorter and to have to sharpen them. But the fun is in the using them, not in the, well, you get to stroke them for a while. See what I mean by how bright this red is? This is definitely gonna override. Yes, May, who doesn't love everything Tim? He's my absolute guru. I have admired that man for years. I first came across him in 2009, and there was a lady called Glenda who was going to be bringing him to South Africa, where I used to live, and she used to organize these conventions. And I hadn't heard of Tim before, and Tim was coming to this convention, and I put on that day, those days I was very busy in the scrapbook.com scrapbooking thing, and they used to have chat rooms and so on. And I put a question on one of the groups, who is Tim Holtz and should I go to his classes? And everybody was like, are you mad, woman? Just go. And I have not looked back. I'm completely addicted to every product he brings out. I did resist these for 6 months, I must tell you. Oh my word, somebody decluttered these? Oh, lucky lady. Okay, so now we are back to the orange. Or as my American friends would say, orange. I had a student, I loved the way she said orange. And we used to try and get her to say orange as often as possible until she cottoned on to what we were up to. And then she would get cross with us and she'd go, no, I'm not saying it. So she used to call everything tangerine instead. So, okay, now we have, it pretty much acts like watercolor once you have activated it. So you can blend with the previous stuff that's wet on here. I'm going to have to do something brown, of course, because I have messed from my previous page. I have got some splatterings from my previous page on there. So, and then let's just see what happens if I splat this page. It's all about, not much. Not much. Okay, so that can dry for a little while. I have got these two as backups if what I plan doesn't work. Because, life works like that. If you have the backups, you don't usually need them. But now, of course, I need my stamp platform. So let's clean that. And let's grab Mr. Doggo. Now, Tim had done this on his rubber stamps, so let's see if it works on the acrylic stamps. Let's see, what colors shall we give him? Let's go with this fired brick and maybe some purple. I'm wanting something dark so that it will contrast to these colors. So what he seemed to do is activate the color, because this is all pigment, and he stuck it in the water for a couple of seconds, which apparently softens all the pigment that's there, and then you draw. So hopefully something goes onto the stamp, because we're learning as we go here. I said I have it all in theory, and let's see what happens. So give that a few seconds to soak into the pigment. There he goes. So I'm basically coloring up the stamp with the pencil crayons. And let's try and do an ombre from this into that. Let's see what happens. Put that in the water for a couple of seconds. Let it soak in. Let's start at the bottom. Of course, dark on dark, I can't see what's coming off, but it is coming off. So we'll just trust the process. Maybe I need to soak it a bit longer. Different pigments, I know, because of my art background. Shamila says it works. She's ahead of me here. Of course you are, my fellow Tim Holtz loving friend. So I know different pigments come from different backgrounds. As in, I know that ochre, yellow ochre, it's mined in Australia. And so some are minerals, some are natural, like pigment. I don't know. You can get it from flower petals. You can get it from all sorts of other natural places. But chances are that more organic matter will dissolve into whatever substance they put the product into, the pigment into. So if it's a mineral, it's not going to dissolve, and it's not going to be as smooth when you put it on the surface. So now we need our spray bottle back as a spray bottle, multitasking spray bottle today. And I'm going to spritz it lightly, very lightly. I might have drowned him. Let's see. Have I got water everywhere? You can see, I'm going to hold him in the light so that you can see that he's now got water everywhere. Yes. And let's stamp and see what happens. And I want him facing this way because I'm going to have the cat facing that way. And make a decision and go. I'm stamping in the middle of the page, so it Sharon, I can see you. Thank you. So I did stamp him a little bit skew, but anyway, by the time I'm finished with everything I'm going to put on here, who knows? So let's just see. I'm stamping in the middle of the page because it's got the squish factor and I'm not fighting the bend of the page here. So, okay, that should be enough. Ta-da! There we go. That worked pretty well. I'm quite pleased with that. We have a rainbow dog. Now to make a rainbow cat. I wonder how many stamps we can get from this actually. So let's just spritz again and find out. Maybe he can have a ghost stamping coming in over here. Oh, I didn't press hard enough over there. Maybe I didn't have enough water. And I can see how strong these are because, okay, we'll not drown the poor dog. Thankfully, dogs can swim. And I will put another stamp up here. We'll make it into a pattern piece. I put too much water on there. I can see it oozing. Oh, that's a liquid mess. A hot mess. It's a wet mess. So let's blot the hot mess. Make him a ghost. We'll make that one a ghost too. Okay. So let's see if we can get one more print out of this without drowning him. So yes, I can see these pigments go a long way. So we're going to stamp at the top there, fill that up. And blot. And we're going to stamp down here. And blot. I'm not even going to spray again. I'm just going to use this as is. Okay, so now how am I going to get this to stamp in the middle? Yeah. Let's see. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Because what I'm trying to do is just stamp across 2 pages. It worked-ish. It worked enough. Because now suddenly this has become a repeat pattern design. And we might not even use the cat. Let's keep going with the dog. So I'm going to leave that dog really bright. And we will spritz again. Stamp again. This is a... How many stamps can you get out of one pencil inking? Yes, flower stamps would be amazing. Okay, and I'm not even going to respray. I'm just going to print and see what happens. Okay, we maybe need a little bit more water. Probably not a good idea to be spraying over my project, but who knows where this is going. Okay, so we can fit another one in there. Yeah, I've done this water technique with Tim's Kokies, you know, his markers where you drew on the thing and on the stamp and then spritzed the stamp and printed to get the watercolor technique. But this seems to be working pretty well as well. I don't think my choice of subject matter is probably the best on this planet, but now we have a texture in the background. Okay, so that works. So now we know that was the first stamping, and then everything else. What my idea was when I saw that is to try and get it to go from dark to light, which is pretty much what has happened. I do need to blot this one a little bit and maybe blot that one because they are still wet and shiny. Okay, let's clean this up. Yes, thank you, Rachel. These are Funky Fossil stamps. They have lots and lots of gorgeous things. Stencils, stamps, they have papers, washi tape, dyes, and some other exciting things are coming soon. Okay, so now where to from here? I have no idea. So, okay, let's get it straight. Now I turned my camera. Let's get the camera straight so I can have that straight. Okay, that's better. Hello, Facebook user. Sorry, I don't know who's just said hi because I'm backstage. I'm using StreamYard. So unless you give Facebook permission to use your name, they can't. For me, everybody else can see who just said hi, but I can't. Sorry. So it's just silly StreamYard, but it makes my life a lot easier. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to experiment with, for those of you who weren't in here earlier, is to use a tea strainer as a grater, for want of a better description, because what I want to try and do is put some color around the page, spritz, and see what happens. Okay, and then I want to grate into you're experimenting with me here, people. It's not looking pretty at the moment, but everything goes through its teenage phase. Or you know what we do, we glue the 2 pages together if we don't like them, but we've had fun and we've learned something, and maybe these guys will have to come in and rescue the day. So let's stick to the colors we have got going here, and I'm going to try grating some orange. Is anything even coming out? I don't know. Maybe I have to be a little bit more. Oh, yes. Okay. So can you see that? I'm going to bring bring it up to the camera. Can you see that powder that's fallen there and how fine it is? Okay, so now we're going to just grate some powder all over. And we will take some of the red. And we will take some of the, what is this? Fossilized amber. See, I was just talking about amber. Amber comes from Australia. Not amber, but okay. I can hear the doorbell. It's probably the delivery that was supposed to be here yesterday. Hopefully my son, husband, or mother will get it. Right, because we're at the most exciting part here. Good morning, Oriana. From that side of the world. Oh, so nice to see you here. Hello, Francis. The wind is blowing us away. Yes, I'm surprised. That's if you haven't got your boat out yet. I've seen pictures on Facebook of my friend's school field where it is absolutely underwater. So we've got all this powder over here, and we're just going to spritz it with water and see what happens. It's activating it. Look at that. Look at that. It's activating the dog too. That is so cool. Is that my backdrop that's arrived at last? Ta-da! Yay! Thank you. No. That's in. Can you lie flat, please? I ordered a backdrop for my photos, a stand to hold the backdrop. The backdrop arrived yesterday without the stand. That's fairly useless. So this is such fun. So yay, that arrived. Okay, so now we have some drippy action going. Let's see what happens if we grate into the wet area. So if we grate into some water, what happens? Let's see what happens. I think you have to kind of make the water move. Not much happens. Maybe we have to activate it with, yep, it just needs a bit more sprinkles, methinks. Put a big blob of water going on there, so we'll just, okay. So now we have some, now we know what that does. I think I need some more down here. So I'm going to go red on the red down here, make that a little bit more interesting. So we're going to go quite hard with the pigment through the tea strainer over here. I'm going to do it quite a lot over here as well. Oh, this is such fun. I guess it's a way you could actually sharpen them too, because you could roll them like this and get a nice point. Yep, that's working too. So, okay, we have lots of red down there. Yeah, that's another way to sharpen them instead of just rubbing them flat. Okay, so, oh, my cat is yodeling. The supervisor is yodeling or yodeling. So I'm just going to spritz what is now being put on the page and let it activate. So it's a bit like creating your own, I don't know, magicals, Lindy's type of thing, only with colors that we know and recognize. So that's fun. Now I need to do some up there so that it kind of links across. I have no idea where this is going. We'll probably stencil right over the top of everything, but okay, we need some orange up there. So we're going to put some orange over there. And give that some water. You don't want it. Okay, don't do that. We'll have to fix that. Okay. Do as I say, not as I do, people. You know. Right. Let's just. No, that's making it worse. Get your fingers out of it, girl. Okay. So now it's all pooling in the middle. Now I need to grab some paper towel and just grab some of that water. Because this is a stitched book, it is going to run through the stitches and just cause a little bit of grief a few pages on. So I'm just grabbing the excess moisture on that. Okay, right. I think at this stage we're going to blow dry. Then we will plot some more. Oh, it helps if the blow dryer is plugged in. And I've had to label all these critters behind my computer screen. So I grab the one that says heat gun and plug it in. There we go. Right, let's try that again. Okay. So now we have this really crazy background. It's always good if you can lift the page up, let the heat go through. It helps dry a little faster. So sometimes for me, a lot of people say, why do you art journal? Well, I don't always art journal to make something perfect. This page is far from what I would call social media material. But I have learned an incredible amount about my Tim pencils. Like, for example, how many stampings I could get out of it, including ghost stampings, having just inked him up once. How the shaving technique works, and so on. So, you know, not every journal page has to be a masterpiece. And as I said, if I really don't like this and I don't want people looking at it, well, I'll just glue those two pages together. But working in an art journal allows me the space to be able to experiment and play like this. I have quite a few journals where I actually write notes, what I used, what my intention was, whether I was happy with the results, not happy with the results. So for me, an art journal is a place to play and experiment. So just because it is not looking like what I would call a social media post page doesn't mean that I'm not happy with it. What I do need to do, though, is just clean my desk because I seem to have some shaving over spray and whatever, and it's now. So now that I have got that far, what can we do from here? So I already had a mess from my previous page over here. So I need to darken my edges. And what am I going to use for that? So I will probably just use good old Distress ink for that. And so that will already help with the situation as far as rescuing the page goes a bit. So I'm just going to use my Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. Hi, Sandra. How are you doing? It's okay. You're not late, really. Well, I will be finished in about 15 or 20 minutes, but you can always rewatch these lives. That's what's so nice. They stay available to be rewatched. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to darken the edges, which when I get around there, it will sort of match up. And because my paper is a little bit damp, it's actually going quite nice and dark. And I don't want a perfect edge. I want a sort of like interesting, shabby, dark edge. Oh, thanks, Sarah Lou. She likes the colors. These warm colors are really nice. Most of us are in summer on this side of the world. And, well, we were last week. This week we're back to rain. And it's 15 degrees. And yeah, 16 with regenen, according to my screen. Because I live in Germany, Google thinks I'm German. So Google gives me the weather in German, which is not a bad thing because, one has to learn the language of where you're living. And today I had to deal with doctors and accounts department and all sorts of things in German, and I managed. So I'm getting there 4 years later. It's not too bad. Well, thanks, Karen. You will watch from the start when you're organized. Okay. I'm feeling quite angelic with that word organized today because I've spent the last week catching up on my accounts because I have to get my taxes in for 2021, 22, and 23 by the end of June. So I have been organizing little pieces of paper, downloading invoices off the internet, and all sorts of other crazy stuff for days. And today I've pretty much finished. I need to just do one more check over before I start uploading it all to my taxman's website, because here in Germany there's no ways you can do your tax yourself. Oh my word, every law has a law, and then so yes, even the Germans have to have a tax consultant because it's if you have a complicated life like mine, because of course who else buys pink wigs and top hats and other crazy things and then puts them through their business? You haven't even finished your first coffee, Sue. I need my second one, I must admit. Before I go to my hairdresser today, I do need my second one. Okay, so I'm quite happy with the colors and how this is kind of going, but I feel like we need some stencils or something to build the layers, and we've got him as kind of a focal point, but the rest is kind of meh. We've had a lot of fun learning, but let's see where we can take this. So I'm just disappearing across the room to get my pile of stencils out and see what else I've got in the die cuts, and then the word of washi tape. Okay, so there we have some stencils, and here we have some washi tape, and maybe, I don't know, let's grab all the stencils and stamps that I have. Make a word with those. I have some washi tape, some nice wide washi tape, some skinny washi tape. I have some other texture things, my usual go-tos, some background. These of Olga's I absolutely love. So maybe we will use those, maybe some numbers. I have that one of Olga's. This is the pieces I just threw on there just now. No, we won't use any of that. So maybe we will use the numbers. Maybe, where's the blocks? Blocks. Here, I like those. I like the blocks in that one. Okay, so you're making your toast with maple spread and coffee. Yum! You just woke up, not going anywhere soon. Brother's the same, drives him crazy, and he's been in Germany for 30 years. Oh, yes. Sarah Lee, these taxes. Yeah. Of course, I've just started my website, and from next month there will be commerce on it. So I've had to really learn. Oh, I love that one. Haven't used that yet. I have to really learn the ropes because we don't want. Maybe it's a dog. Maybe we'll have dog bones. But I think we had dog bones on the last page. No, we won't use dog bones. Oh, I love the checks. Can you tell I love the checks? We have the zip. We have zippity-doo-dah, zippity. I didn't say that. You didn't hear it. And I didn't give you an earworm. Maybe we'll have some splotches. Okay. So let's see what else we got here. And I wanted those squares. Okay. So let's make a decision, girl. Let's make a decision. Oh, they're talking about food in the chat over in the land of YouTube. And they're talking about delicious things like bread and syrup. So I want to bring more purple into this, and I'm going to do the purple with that. I'm going to let's bring this checkerboard in, and I'm going to use this checkerboard and that. So when I'm now trying to pull everything together, I look for things that have some sort of connection, repeat possibilities, repeat designs, repeat shapes. I might use that. So let's see. You feel a funky fossil order. I am a bit of an enabler. I'm sorry. But I'm using Tim's stuff and other people's things too. But I must admit, I am really thrilled with the quality of the products that Sarah makes. Right. And what have I got on my desk? I have got some spiced marmalade, so that will work because it's working with orange. It will be a bit darker. Only I need an applicator tool, so let's just take that one off. Pop that one on. I know it's yellow, but orange will do. Yes, good luck, Sarah Lou, trying to plan your attack of what you want on that delicious website. There is just so much. Okay, so let's show you what's happening here. So I'm introducing these checks around the corner, and I'm making them darker around the edges, and I'm just going to fade them towards the middle. So I'm giving very little pressure over there, and we will do the same. I'll just rotate it so I don't waste ink on the stencil, and I'm going to make it nice and dark at the top there and dark down the side, and let it just fade. Now we've got our doggo over there that we don't really want to cover up. Okay, I like that. Now I'm going to do it right along the bottom. You have to set yourself a limit. Yes, it's like there was a certain shop I used to go to when I was buying stuff for my studio in Cape Town, and I used to only take with me the amount of money I was prepared to spend. I used to leave my bank cards, everything at home. And that worked really well until they said to me the one time I got there and they had some new stock in that I was desperate for. And they were like, oh, it's fine. You can just do an online payment. Go into management's office and log in, and here's your code, and you can just pay online. That was the end of me, willpower and all that. And I seem to have I know what's happening. I've used black on here and I'm dirtying my ink pad. I will fix it. Don't worry. I will clean that. So now it's starting to pull together a little bit more. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this doggo. Let me first check that and see if I don't have him as a mask ready. Let's check. See, my brother has worked so hard. Let's just see. I have that. I have that. I have that. No, I don't have doggo as a mask, so he will now become a mask. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this dog over here, and I'm going to use him as a mask because I want to stamp with this one over the top. And I'm going to use, because I've used the purple, let's check and see what purple that was. This is why I like working with Tim's stuff. So that was Villainous Potion. And guess what? I don't have Villainous Potion as an ink pad. Because guess what? I don't have them all. Oh, thanks, Sandra. So we are going to ink up the stamp, which I think I'm going to put on here because it's on a on its backing sheet at the moment. We will ink it up with that. And how I did that earlier, for those of you who just popped in, is you can wet your crayon, put it in the water for a couple of seconds, let it sort of soak in and soften the layer on the outside of the crayon, because the whole pencil crayon is pigment. And I'm going to want to stamp this side, so I want as much pigment as possible on this side. And it's kind of blotchy, which is probably fine because, well, we don't want it perfect. Our background isn't perfect. Okay, I need a bit more. So let's just wet that a little bit more. Off screen, sorry, but I don't want to tempt fate. So we just want a bit more color on here. So I'm rolling around my pencil crayon over there like that. And, oh, Sky Blue's here. Hello, Sky Blue. Hello, Vina. So let's give him a nice background. We need to make him a bit more focal pointish. So let's just make sure, because this is now dry. So if I stamp that, nothing's going to happen. Good catch, Belinda. Good catch. Now we have to spritz, which I'm going to do over here because I don't want to spritz my thing. I'm just spritzing where I activated the crayon, making sure I have enough, probably too much. But we're just playing here and having fun. So, all right, let's splat. Splitty splat, split, splat, split, splat. Let's see what happens. Do we get a splat with... No, we just get a splat. And it's stuck to that. Okay, perhaps we need to do some CPR. So let's go back and do some CPR. Okay, well, that's interesting. I'll take it. And we'll use what's on there on the other side. I need to protect him a little bit more. And we're going to have a purple dog. So that's another 2 for 1, people. So we'll spritz a bit more water on there. And maybe scribble in there a bit more. Give it a bit more color. Learning as we go. Okay. And we're going to spritz this side. And I've got a lot of water on it. And splat. And CPR. And now we just have a big splat. And a purple dog with squares on. Okay. He needs a splat down the bottom here. So we put him back. And we splat down the bottom with what's left. Yes, that works. And now he's fully purple with lots of texture. So he can be used on something else. And of course, we always need it somewhere else. So I'm going to just splat on the sides. And splat over there. And splat up here. And see if I can get more of that off over here. Get some more of those checks. No, nothing more coming off. Clean the stamp. Okie dokie. So now we could do with something else. So we have the dog, which is kind of being focal pointish over there. Maybe he should just be purple. I actually quite like him like that. That works better for me. Now we need some words. So, what are we going to say? And how are we going to do that? Please, could I just color directly onto the stamp without pre-wetting the pencil and then spray? I'm sure you could, because we just did that. You can, okay, so if you just color directly onto the stamp, not much pigment is going to come off. You could wet the stamp first and then, so that's what I did second now. You can spray the stamp and then color into the wet stamp. But what happens if you wet the pencil? So normally I would have my jar of water here, which, to be honest, I think I took it to the bathroom to clean and it's still in the bathroom. So I'm just using my spray bottle to get water. And it dries very quickly because, I mean, most of this is not coming off, just a little bit at the back there. So you're not wasting your pencil if that's what you're worried about. So you had a phone call, missed it. No problem at all. Always here to answer questions. That's why I like doing these lives where we are experimenting and learning. Okay, so we've got purple dog going on over there. I need something over here with purple wording. So what are we going to say? Let's see. Where were those? Now you see I've been here for 5 minutes. I haven't. I've been here for 1 hour and 5 minutes. Blotchy purple doggy. Yes. Let's see. Let's get some words going. Don't know if any of these, this is the beginning of anything you want. That could do, but I feel like that's a bit small. So maybe we need another saying. And I can use some stamps, or I don't know, maybe we can have these numbers. Let's play with the numbers. They could balance quite nicely over here. It's nice and big. Let's do the numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz the stamp because the stamp is quite big. And color with, so this is what I was saying just now, Sarah Lou. Yes, this is Olga's stamp set with Funky Fossil. These are numbers that she's collected all over the world, I think, like wherever she goes, and she has me collecting stamp numbers too. So if I see an interesting number on a house plate anywhere, I take a photograph of it and send it to her, and she's compiled all these number thingies from numbers that she's found, which is quite cool. Okay, so that looks quite wet, some of these edges, but it doesn't matter. Do I want it perfect? No, I don't. So we're going to just plonk it bang in the middle. Or maybe further down. No, bang in the middle of the side works for me. And I'll just give it some CPR. Okay, let's see what we got. Nice blotchy numbers. Okay, now I'm going to use what's left. And what am I going to do? I'm going to bring some in from the edges on the side. Okay, there's not much left on there. And I kind of feel like that's a very perfect outline. So we're going to go back to that blotchy stamp. And I'm going to blotch a little bit more. So we're going to do what we learned from this one. And I'm going to wet there. And I'm going to color just those edges. And fade that out. And blotch. So now I'm starting to get the same effect of what's happening there. Add a bit more color. Add a bit more water. Add a bit more color. And I'm going to have to go down here because now I've got it going around the corners. There we go. So that's taken away that squareness that was happening there. And I feel like I need to link it across. So I'm just going to link that there and that there. Like they need to trail a little bit more. It's starting to get messy. Do we want? Yes, we still want him. So we will have Mr. Purple Doggo. And I think that's about as much as this page can take, really, for now. But that was fun. I got to play with my crayons, learn what I could do with them on stamps, and that they work with, okay, let's just do a recap. I started by scribbling on the page, using water and a brush and diluting what I had scribbled on the page to get a background. I then scribbled on the dog by wetting the pencil crayon and stamping. I then kept spritzing the stamp and made lots of repeat prints. What did I do then? I've even lost track. I went around the outside with the brown ink I have stenciled. Then I splattered around the outside of him using him as a mask. And now I rather like him instead of what I had going underneath. And then we stamped in purple to bring the purple across. And then I wanted to link the blotches over here and to kill the very square edge that was happening over there. So I used the stamp. And I think we are done. I think we're done. I did have this stamp out, which is also the squares, and I could, yes, we're not done. Not quite done. I'm going to do the squares with the same color. So I want to repeat the color. I'm going to spritz the stamp. It's the squares from another stamp set that's also Olga's, because she also believes in linking everything together. So I'm going to excuse the fact that it's very skew on my block, but I'm going to try and bring it in kind of straight over there and over there. I think we need to see if we can get more pure color, not too much water on there this time, and see if we can stamp down here. That's a bit better, but now it definitely needs a bit of water. Don't drown it. Definitely seems to dry a bit better than what I'm seeing when it's wet. Except that is too harsh, so I'm going to blot that. Don't want that so dark. No. Right. Now I am done. I promise. I'm done. I'm done. So let's just bring that up to the screen a bit more. Hi, Caroline. We just finished. I've just done a recap. And when this is dry and I'm back from the hairdresser tonight, because it's a 3-hour process, I have my appointment at 5, which is why I couldn't be on at 7 p.m. your time, because I'd still be on my way home. So that's why I had to bump my thing forward. So thank you to everybody who stopped by so early in the afternoon. And somebody here saying she learned from Tracy Evans from All and Create that you always layer away from perfection and keep going until you're happy. Absolutely. So I really today was a grand experiment. Thanks for joining me in the fun of it, and trial and error and experimentation. I will have a look at this when it is dry and see if it needs anything else. I feel like he's the only thing that has any black on him on this page, and I like to repeat stuff. So I might bring some black marker into something over here, we will see, and you will see it finished in the group. Thank you so much for all the love, everybody. Thanks for the time you've taken to watch me for this hour. I really enjoyed having you with me and commenting and enjoying the techniques. And go ahead and just play. As I said, it's a junk journal. Well, it's not a junk journal. It's a journal. We're in junk journals. And if you don't like it, glue it together. If it's a possible thing where you've got a ring bound book and you can tear it out, so tear it out. But not everything has to be absolutely perfect for social media. We learn more when we don't actually care and just keep playing, keep layering, keep experimenting. This is how I learn, so that when I have an idea in my head, I have been there, done that. And yeah, it's the only way we learn is by actually doing it ourselves. So please go ahead and experiment. If you don't want to experiment in a book, just get a good quality paper, because most of these techniques, you can see I've used a lot of water and things. You need decent quality paper. Gesso over it. If I gesso over this, the gesso will be a really strange color, because gesso will absorb all the colors from Tim's pigments. And there's black gesso. There's always black gesso. That won't show any of these colors. So yes, there is always an option. So thanks everybody for your time. Till the 21st of July, when I will be back. I will see you then. Bye for now.